Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah, the most merciful and the entirely merciful, be with each and every one of you. This is me, your host, Hossam Ed-Deen Allam, warmly welcoming you to a new episode of the Peacebuilding Bridges podcast. At the outset, as I'm highlighting the concept of peace building from an Islamic jurisprudential perspective, I'd like to state that humanity lives nowadays in a global village where no people can afford to live in isolation from what goes on elsewhere. Our globe is so interconnected and so interdependent that peaceful coexistence has become the only way forward. In the 21st century, faith still plays a pivotal role in shaping people's attitudes and influencing their stances. Despite flagrant occurrences of abuse of various faith traditions by some of their self-proclaimed followers in order to instigate or justify acts of violence, there are positive common themes in these faith traditions. Hence, civilized dialogue and law-abiding intercultural practices constitute and represent essential tools in accomplishing a much needed global peace building. This episode of the Peacebuilding Bridges podcast is a humble contribution towards actualizing this dialogue from a jurisprudential perspective within a major world faith. That's the professed faith of nearly 1/5, if not more, of the global human family. One that is largely misunderstood than any other faith, sometimes even by some of its own adherents. With that in mind, let's look into the concept of peace building. Essentially, peace building is an institution that is mostly explicated than defined. Conceivably, this is because it is conducted by a wide variety of actors whose points of strength and capacities enable them to build peace in various ways. Back in the 1960s, Johann Galtung started to explicate peace building as the practical implementation of peaceful social change through socio-economic reconstruction and development. Since then, Galtung has developed the notion that peace building involves a profound change to overcome contradictions that lie at the root of conflict. The focus on root causes and structural transformation has been a consistent aspect of examinations of peace building. Stephen Ryan, however, has observed that Galtung's approach to peace building suffers from the lack of a relational dimension. Ryan has highlighted the need to transform negative conflict attitudes in society. Specifically, he focuses on the grassroots level. Bringing together Galtung and Ryan's analysis, Lederach has characterized peace building as a comprehensive concept that encompasses, generates, and sustains the full array of processes, approaches, and stages needed to transform conflict toward more sustainable and peaceful relationships. Thus, Laderack has made a strong place in the discourse of peace building that addresses the structural, relational, and cultural aspects and causes of conflict. Regarding faith-based peace building, numerous faith leaders and political savants across the globe on numerous occasions have spoken about the role of Islam in peace building. For instance, Prince Charles spoke about Islam at a lecture at the Oxford Center for Islamic Studies on the 27th of October 1993. In his lecture, the Prince stated the following, I quote, "Islam is part of our past and our present. In all fields of human endeavor, it has helped to create modern Europe. It is part of our own inheritance, not a thing apart. More than this, Islam can teach us today a way of understanding and living in the world." End of the quote.